and part of one of the big things that I've done is make sure that we have an extremely strong local impact, but that we're also visionary and trying to be a part of the national ecosystem. So part of my national ecosystem building was building a strategic partnership with Tesla. So it's been really fun to work with Tiara Thurston, who's a Tesla executive. She literally runs the central US and Mexico for fleets and sales and their energy storage play. And so Tesla was really gracious to be able to give us, let us utilize their Columbus showroom last week. And so Jim Tressel and Stan Farrett and Chuck George and State Senator O'Brien and State Senator O'Rourke and Gil Blair and Mike O'Brien, all came together and said, hey, we want to tell the story of Ohio's only energy incubator. We want to do it in Columbus, so let's invite some friends and talk about it. And over 100 people came out to talk about the Voltage Valley, to talk about what the Mahoning Valley can do for Columbus. I think there's so many times that we look out for help here, and this is one of those opportunities that we're able to say, no, the Valley's leading in this. And Columbus gets to benefit from the really hard work that people like President Tressel and the senators are doing.
This was a fundraising event?
Yeah, absolutely.
And just to be clear, is BRITE nonprofit?
Yeah,
for-profit?
We're a 501c3 nonprofit. Our mission is to help early stage energy technologies and companies innovate and grow, which helps extremely with tech-based economic development.
So where does most of your funding come from? Does it come from companies coming in renting space, or do you get government grants?
Yeah, so I'm an entrepreneur myself. So one of the things that I learned very quickly in my first entrepreneurial experience was you need to have multiple sources of revenue. So the answer to your question is yes. It does come from, we're very fortunate that we started with a Department of Energy federal grant to get this place up and going. Our entrepreneurial services, 50% of that is covered from the state of Ohio Third Frontier program. But most importantly is the community support that we get. So donations from organizations like First Energy and others that really help us be able to innovate and grow. And then finally, our purchase services. So we just hired a VP of Tech Acceleration who's really focused on our innovation services and being able to provide tech scouting and all of that good stuff, because we're a huge believer in being able to provide value, and providing value and having the talented team that we have here is something that we're happy to do.
Part of what you are doing is really with the goal of brain gain.
Yeah,
keeping young people here. What aren't we doing well enough in this area to keep those young folks here?
One of the biggest things that I look at, and that I was kind of blessed as a young person, is being able to provide opportunities for responsibility for young people. There's really talented young people here in the Mahoning Valley, and there's really talented young people across the country that are in leadership positions. I think oftentimes you have to put in your time here in the Mahoning Valley, and that's something that we're seeing other regions move forward quickly when there's 20 and 30-something-year-old leaders of small organizations or picking up real projects and being a part of that. So really empowering young people to take leadership and ownership is something that's hugely important here. That's kind of number one to me, and that's something that we really believe in here at BRITE. We've got a really robust internship program that our interns, when they come here, they get a project and they own it. They're not treated like, hey, go get the mail and sit at the front desk and do this. It's, all right, you're going to run this huge fundraiser in Columbus for our organization, and you're going to knock it out of the park. And we're going to do everything we can to put you in a position to be successful and to give you the confidence that you need to be able to go and continue doing that. Yeah. And so I think it's just making purposeful and taking purposeful action to empower young people that they can have a meaningful impact here. Some of the things that we are working on and we're doing extremely well, because I'm not here to be negative and say that we're consistently falling behind, because that's not the case. There's a lot of people out there doing really good, hard work, and I'm so proud of the Business Journal and really talking about and focusing on brain gain. So one thing that we are doing though is we're seeing kind of our downtown start to revitalize, whether it's Warren, with all the new businesses that are coming in here, and we're seeing a lot of 30-something business owners, whether it's Weston, Maine, or Modern Methods Brewery in downtown Warren, and we are getting some of those opportunities, but it's mostly them taking those opportunities and seizing it. So providing those opportunities for young people to go to a show or be engaged, have that culture, is something that I think is one of the first things on the chopping block when you hit economic hard times. And so we need to remember who we are, that we're a place that builds things, and we build great things, and we built things for the rest of the world for the last 100 years. That's something our young people can be proud of. Something that I always talk about when I was growing up. My dad was a steel worker, and he made the links of trains at American Steel Foundry in Alliance, Ohio. So when I was growing up, I was always so proud that I thought about, like, how many trains did my dad link together? Like, how much product moved because of what my dad did? Like, that was really cool to me, and something that I could be proud of, and something that I think about today on a consistent basis, that, like, we're a place that moves the rest of the country forward. That's cool, and that's something to be proud of.
A lot of what you're doing is collaboration with, you just mentioned the YBI earlier. You have a new collaboration with them. YBI is Mahoning County, BRITE is Trumbull County. Do you feel that there's still too much sort of parochialism and that we need to be talking more about the Mahoning Valley as a whole?
One of the things that consistently happens is a community like ours ends up in that kind of scarcity mindset that I meant, and that's something that after a long period of time can drain on you.
Explain what you mean by scarcity mindset.
So there's an abundance mindset and there's a scarcity mindset. So abundance mindset is I always have, and I have opportunity and I'm moving forward. And then there's scarcity mindset, like when you lose 40,000 jobs overnight and you don't know. And so it's completely understandable to live in that scarcity mindset where there isn't enough resources for us all to be successful. So I have to start making sure that I'm getting credit and that I'm relevant in that organization. Completely understandable that that happens. To move our region forward, we need to start thinking in an abundance mindset that everybody can benefit and that a rising tide raises all ships, that we can work together. And that's why, Barb Ewing says, anytime an opportunity for YBI and BRITE to work together is an opportunity worth taking. So having leadership like Barb in the Mahoning Valley is something that is really important to us. And that's something that why BRITE and YBI work so well together, is we understand that they can focus on B2B software and advanced manufacturing and 3D printing, and BRITE lives in the energy space. And these two industries intertwine and grow together and work together, and we can do really great things together. And I think we've been really excited about the direction of the Chamber of Commerce and how they're really growing to take part and bring everybody in, and Eastgate and the other organizations. So I think one of the things that we really need is that we all come together, and maybe it's around a Voltage Valley initiative, maybe it's continuously around 3D printing, or maybe it's around all of it. And we all cheer for each other, and we all lift each other up, and we all write grants together at a federal level, and we bring prosperity to the Mahoning Valley that way.
Thought Leaders is sponsored by Eastern Gateway Community College. With more than 35 programs, Eastern Gateway can help you with your career preparation and transfer plans.